The world watched with bated breath as the dust settled after World War II. From the ashes of a global conflict arose a new struggle, a clash of ideologies. The United States and the Soviet Union, once allies, now stood as superpowers on opposite sides. This marked the beginning of the Cold War, defined by espionage, rivalry, and nuclear threat. The two superpowers engaged in a high-stakes chess match for global dominance. The Cold War was fought in the shadows, in the realms of espionage and intelligence gathering. Among these, Project MKUltra stands out as a chilling testament to the lengths to which the US government was willing to go. The pursuit of mind control quickly gained traction within the intelligence community. The idea of shaping and manipulating thoughts held immense appeal. The CIA saw the potential to create a new breed of soldier, impervious to interrogation. This was about wielding the ultimate weapon control over the human mind. The CIA embarked on clandestine projects shrouded in secrecy to unlock the secrets of the brain. These projects often involved pushing ethical boundaries, experimenting on unwitting subjects. The quest to control the mind led the CIA down a dark path littered with ethical violations. At the forefront of the CIA's foray into mind control was Project MKUltra, a top-secret program authorized in 1953. MKUltra was no ordinary research endeavor. It was a radical departure from conventional scientific ethics.
Overseeing this ambitious project was me, Sidney Gottlieb, a chemist with a brilliant mind and a chilling lack of moral compass. Known within the agency as the Black Sorcerer, I saw MKUltra as the key to unlocking the ultimate weapon, the human mind.
Gottlieb's vision for MKUltra was sweeping in scope. He aimed to develop techniques for mind control and brainwashing. The human mind, in all its complexity, became the battleground for MKUltra's ambitious goals. Gottlieb, driven by a relentless pursuit of scientific breakthroughs, saw the human psyche as a fortress to be breached. He believed that within the labyrinthine corridors of the mind lay the keys to unimaginable power to control thoughts, manipulate emotions, and erase memories. MKUltra aimed to unravel the mysteries of consciousness, driven by scientific curiosity and Cold War paranoia. The Soviets were believed to be engaged in their own mind control experiments, and the US could not afford to fall behind. MKUltra represented a radical departure from conventional intelligence gathering, a foray into the unknown realms of human consciousness. Section 2. The search for a backdoor. At the heart of MKUltra lay a fundamental question: could the human mind be hacked? Could a backdoor be found, a secret entrance that would allow CIA operatives to bypass the conscious mind and plant suggestions directly into the subconscious? It was a question that had intrigued philosophers and scientists for centuries, but now in the crucible of the Cold War, it took on a chilling urgency. Gottlieb and his team explored a wide range of techniques, many of them bordering on the barbaric, in their quest to find this elusive backdoor. They experimented with potent hallucinogens like LSD, believing that these mind-altering substances could hold the key to unlocking hidden areas of the brain. They subjected unsuspecting subjects to sensory deprivation, hoping to break down their resistance and make them more susceptible to suggestion. Hypnosis, too, became a tool in MKUltra's arsenal, as did electroshock therapy, a controversial treatment that sent jolts of electricity through the brain, often with devastating side effects. The CIA's rationale was simple, if chillingly pragmatic. If the human mind could be broken down, it could then be rebuilt, reshaped in the image of its controllers. The ethical implications of these experiments, however, were largely ignored or dismissed as necessary evils in the fight against communism. Section 3. The tools of manipulation. MKUltra's arsenal was as diverse as it was disturbing. Gottlieb and his team became purveyors of mind-altering substances, acquiring vast quantities of LSD and other hallucinogens from laboratories around the world. These drugs were seen as more than just chemical compounds. They were tools of manipulation capable of unlocking hidden desires, breaking down inhibitions, and even inducing amnesia. The CIA's interest in LSD was particularly intense. The drug's ability to induce profound alterations in perception, mood, and thought made it a prime candidate for mind control experiments. Gottlieb, convinced that LSD held the key to unlocking the subconscious mind, authorized countless experiments, many of them conducted on unwitting subjects, including CIA personnel, military men, and even civilians. Alongside LSD, MKUltra explored a range of other mind-altering substances, from powerful sedatives to truth serums. They experimented with hypnosis, seeking to implant suggestions and trigger specific behaviors in their subjects. Sensory deprivation chambers, designed to induce a state of sensory overload or deprivation, became another tool in their arsenal. The goal was always the same: to find a way to bypass the conscious mind and exert control over the human psyche. Section 1. The subject's victims in the shadows. The true horror of MKUltra lay in its human cost. Countless individuals were subjected to experiments without their knowledge or consent. They were the invisible victims of the Cold War. Many were prisoners, mental patients, and drug addicts. Their vulnerability made them easy targets. They were subjected to further trauma in the name of national security. Section 2. Chemical chaos, LSD, and the mind. LSD, with its mind-bending properties, fascinated Gottlieb and his team. They saw in LSD a tool of unprecedented power, a chemical key to the human psyche. The drug's ability to alter perception made it ideal for their experiments. The CIA acquired vast quantities of LSD through clandestine channels. They even established their own LSD production facilities. Subjects were often given LSD without their knowledge or consent. The experiments were haphazard and lacked ethical oversight. Section 3. Torture under the guise of science. While LSD became synonymous with MKUltra, it was just one weapon in the CIA's arsenal of mind control techniques. The project explored a wide range of methods, many of them bordering on torture, in its quest to break down and rebuild the human psyche. Sensory deprivation, hypnosis, electroshock therapy, all were employed with chilling indifference to the suffering they inflicted. Sensory deprivation chambers, designed to induce a state of sensory overload or deprivation, became a favored tool of MKUltra. Subjects were confined to these chambers, sometimes for days or even weeks at a time, their senses bombarded with flashing lights and jarring noises, or plunged into complete darkness and silence. The goal was to induce a state of sensory disorientation, to break down the subject's sense of self and make them more susceptible to suggestion. Alongside sensory deprivation, MKUltra explored the use of electroshock therapy, a controversial treatment that involved sending jolts of electricity through the brain. While electroshock therapy had legitimate medical uses in treating severe mental illnesses, the CIA saw in it a tool for erasing memories, inducing amnesia, and even altering personality traits. The treatments were often administered without proper anesthesia or regard for the patient's well-being, leaving many with lasting physical and psychological scars. Section 4. Beyond American Shores, the international reach of MKUltra. The CIA's quest for mind control extended far beyond the United States. MKUltra cast a long shadow globally, drawing in collaborators and conducting experiments on foreign soil. A notorious example was the collaboration with Dr. Ewan Cameron at the Allen Memorial Institute in Montreal.
Cameron developed a controversial treatment known as psychic driving, involving drug-induced sleep and recorded messages.
The CIA funded Cameron, intrigued by the potential of psychic driving for mind control. For decades, the victims of MKUltra remained largely silent, their voices stifled by fear and trauma.
As the truth emerged, some found the courage to share their stories, painting a chilling picture of the horrors inflicted upon them.
They spoke of being drugged without consent, experiencing terrifying hallucinations, and feeling like puppets manipulated by unseen forces.
These voices began to chip away at the wall of secrecy surrounding MKUltra.
The case of Dr. Ewan Cameron and the Allen Memorial Institute in Montreal stands as a chilling chapter in the MKUltra saga.
Cameron, driven by a desire to alleviate human suffering, developed a controversial technique known as psychic driving.
This technique involved erasing patients' memories and attempting to reprogram their personalities, raising serious ethical concerns.
The CIA, intrigued by Cameron's work, provided funding, pushing him further down a path of unethical experimentation.
The victims of Cameron's experiments suffered horrific abuse, subjected to prolonged drug-induced sleep and electroshock therapy.
These treatments left many with lasting psychological scars, struggling to remember their own identities.
Their stories expose the dark side of Cameron's legacy, forever tarnishing his reputation.
The Canadian government eventually issued a formal apology and provided financial compensation to some victims.
The full extent of MKUltra's damage remains unknown, shrouded in secrecy.
The destruction of records deepened the mystery and fueled suspicions that the CIA had something to hide.
MKUltra's legacy extends beyond its direct victims, eroding public trust and raising serious questions about the agency's accountability.
The program's unethical experiments led to stricter regulations and ethical guidelines for research involving human subjects.
The CIA went to extraordinary lengths to keep MKUltra hidden, operating under a veil of secrecy.
However, the 1970s, marked by social upheaval and distrust of government, proved to be a turning point.
The Watergate scandal created an atmosphere of skepticism, and the public demanded transparency and accountability.
Amid this climate, cracks began to appear in the CIA's wall of silence.
The dam broke in 1975 when the Church Committee launched an investigation into the CIA's activities.
MKUltra emerged as a major focus, revealing shocking truths about the program's scope and methods.
The public learned about the CIA's experiments with LSD, sensory deprivation, and other mind control techniques.
The revelations sent shockwaves through the United States, undermining public trust in the government.
The Church Committee's investigation failed to deliver closure or justice for MKUltra's victims.
The final report condemned the program, but stopped short of recommending criminal prosecutions.
The destruction of records made it difficult to determine the full extent of the program's activities.
The CIA's lack of transparency deepened the mystery and fueled suspicions.
In the aftermath of MKUltra's exposure, the US government implemented reforms to prevent similar abuses.
However, these reforms have done little to assuage the lingering distrust and suspicion sown by MKUltra.
The program's legacy continues to haunt the United States, a reminder of the dangers of unchecked government power.
The search for truth and justice must continue to ensure such abuses never happen again.
MKUltra stands as a chilling testament to the depths of human depravity possible when the pursuit of power knows no ethical bounds.
The story of MKUltra is a cautionary tale with unsettling resonance in the 21st century.
Advances in neuroscience and technology have opened up new avenues for manipulating the human mind.
The greatest tragedy lies in the lessons seemingly left unlearned.
The desire to control the human mind is as old as civilization itself.
Advances in neuroscience and psychology offer unprecedented opportunities for understanding and treating mental illness.
However, these same technologies could be used to manipulate and control individuals on an unprecedented scale.
Such scenarios are becoming increasingly plausible as our understanding of the brain advances.
The legacy of MKUltra is a stark reminder that the price of liberty is eternal vigilance.
Safeguarding the human mind from undue influence is a collective duty that falls upon us all.
Education plays a crucial role in this endeavor, fostering critical thinking and media literacy.
Transparency and accountability are essential, with rigorous oversight and ethical guidelines for research.
The human mind, with its capacity for creativity, empathy, and critical thought, is what sets us apart from all other species on Earth. It is the wellspring of our greatest achievements and the foundation of our shared humanity. Protecting the sanctity of the mind, ensuring that it remains free from undue influence and manipulation, is not just a matter of individual rights, but a moral imperative that will shape the very future of our species. The revelations of MKUltra, as disturbing as they are, can serve as a catalyst for positive change. By confronting the dark chapters of our past, by acknowledging the potential for both good and evil inherent in scientific progress, and by reaffirming our commitment to ethical principles, we can strive to create a future where the human mind is not a weapon to be wielded, but a source of wonder, creativity, and boundless potential. The choice, as always, remains ours to make.